DeSanctimonious, and he has a new nickname coming from the president of the coalition of Black Trade Unionists. I want to share that with you, but they're making it known that they are not going to play with DeSantis. So President Terry Melvin said the following during a CBTU event, a 2023, matter of fact, their convention, he said the following: a paranoid minority wants us silenced everywhere except on a stage or on a basketball court. You better say that, Terry McMillan. In other words, we all right as black folks to be able to entertain this country, but anything other than that, they don't want us. He is really, he really hit the nail on the head about the psyche, unfortunately, of far too many in this country, and he was not holding back. And he also gave, as I mentioned earlier, Governor DeSantis a new nickname. He called him Ron DeSatan. I don't know. He might have President Donald J. Trump on DeSanctimonious. I'm torn now between the two. He also decried the fact that DeSantis wants to eradicate the existence of black and brown people, calling it dangerous and anti-democratic. The president, Terry McMillan, that is so correct on that. And he was jabbing hard at the ultra-right, including former President Donald J. Trump. President Terry Melvin went on to say the following: DeSantis and the radical right are weaponizing ignorance and repeating lies as a central strategy at the core of the radical right assault on democracy and our black presence on this soil, which is saturated with the blood of our ancestors. You better go ahead and say that. He laid that out. Now we're gonna come back to that, so I want the team to be ready to put that back up, because we're gonna break that all the way down. So he continues to talk about how this particular governor has a problem with the truth. He really does. And on lies, him lying about the history of African Americans in this country, not even wanting the history to be told, the weaponizing of ignorance and frustration is one of the oldest tricks in the book. And this dude is pulling from that book. And he continued to cook this dude, the radical right's assault on democracy and our black presence on this soil, which is saturated with our blood, the blood of our ancestors. Damn right. He got that all the way right. The blood of black people built this joint, and it made this the hegemonic nation that it is today. So Jessica, let's, we're gonna just go into this, and you're muted too. Yep, and we're ready. Yep. So any thoughts on what President Terry Melvin had to say, and really how they are going hardcore, not holding anything back on DeSantis?
Yeah, DeSantis has been cosplaying as this kind of populist candidate. That's not at all the case. He might cater towards the kind of working class people that have been tricked into this narrative that he would actually represent them if he was elected to public office. It is always black union leaders that are demonized more than anyone else fighting for the rights of workers. That's a huge problem. When DeSantis says that once he's in office, his goal is to eradicate woke leftists, that is a dog whistle. When you have someone running for president who says that the people pointing out how the system oppresses them and doesn't work for them and works against them, that those people are your target and they're a threat to you, you're very clearly outing yourself as part of the problem, as someone who is dedicated to being an oppressor. When workers are asking for better working conditions, they're not a bigger threat to the country than the corporations that are not only exploiting our labor and keeping our wages low so we can hardly afford to pay our bills. A lot of them are the same corporations that are polluting the planet and making it so that hurricanes that hit Florida quite frequently are more severe, that we experience flooding and wildfires. They're destroying our planet while charging us extremely high prices for gas. When we think about the 5 largest oil companies in the West, they had a combined profit of $200 billion in 2022. So they're getting rich off of workers' backs and destroying the planet. But your focus on the woke leftists, the people who are pointing this stuff out, that's who you think is a threat. That's who the goal of your political campaign is to target. You're not our guy then. I'm sorry. If you're not fighting for the workers, if you're not fighting so that the planet is livable, You're not our guy. You're not the person we should elect as president. So of course DeSantis is going to pick a fight with these people, and these folks, the union leaders and the union activists are right that DeSantis is the necessary target, so that we can point out these contradictions before his campaign picks up any more steam.
Absolutely, he is definitely, Jessica, not the guy. And the war with the left, war on woke. First of all, he doesn't even understand the origins of woke, which a lot of people don't. They took it and ran with it. Some white leftists took this word and they used it, or neoliberals, I should say, used this word out of context, out of control. And GOP members like DeSantis took it and ran with it.